Hello, welcome today to our new installment in How to Register series. In the first two videos, I highlighted how to register in certain situations. For example, how to register late in fall or how to register early in winter. But today's video will just highlight how to register in general. Since every term the registration process is the same through your MyBC page. In today's scenario, since we are registering early now for fall, since it's May 1st, registration for fall started last week, and we are also in the registration period for summer. So in today's scenario, we will register for one class in the summer and also one class or two classes for the fall. Let us get started. So we log in. First we go to the Broward College homepage at www.broward.edu. Okay. Then we log into our MyBC page at the top right here. Okay. Then we put in your student ID and 6-digit password, or if you changed your password, you will put whatever it is you changed to. I am putting in the student ID right now, and I am putting in the password right now. Okay, so now that you see we're in our MyBC page, all right, so whenever you register, regardless of term, it's under the registration tab at the top and the first prompt, which is add drop. Let's click on it. Okay, and we always select the term, whether it's winter, summer, or fall. You're going to select the term. Be careful here to select the right term. Many times, even though you're in a current term that's almost over, it still has an option, like here for winter, even though the winter term's almost over. So a lot of times students may go into the wrong term, and that can cause problems. So always be careful that you highlight the correct term. So for example, it's May now. Summer starts May 13th, so you could still register for summer class. So let's do this one first. Okay, and we select. Okay, as you learned in the other tutorials, we simply highlight the campus we want. All of the main campuses, Central, North, South, the downtown or the satellite campuses, Pines, Tiger Tail, and we have a new Coral Springs Academic Center now. And virtual campus is for online courses. So for our demonstration today, let's click on North Campus. Okay. And in the previous tutorial, I showed you how to import from your educational plan. Let's click that again. All right. And for the demonstration now, since I'm just going to register for the math course in the summer, and we can do the English and the other course for the fall. Let me just take out these courses here. And when you have an educational plan done with an advisor, when you click the import button every term, the courses that the advisor put on your plan will always import. But if you need to change any of them for whatever reason, you can just delete the ones you want to change and add the new course IDs in. But now we have the math course, elementary algebra. And since this is a prep course, you learned from the other video that you have to add the lab with it, the matching lab. But that will automatically come up. So now we have North Campus selected. We have a course code in here. And we click Search Now. So we see all of the different sections here for the elementary algebra at North Campus. Remember, we learned that there's different sessions each term. Always keep an eye out on the sessions. For example, in summer, session 1 is the whole summer, May to August. Session 2 is the first 6 weeks, May through June 24th, May 13th to June 24th. Summer begins in May 13th. And then Session 3 is the last 6 weeks of the term, which is June 27th to August 8th. Be careful here, because if you're a first-time college student, you want to be careful not to jump into a class that might be 6 weeks, Session 2 or 3. It might be better, depending on your learning style, especially being new to college, to look for Session 1, which is the full 12 weeks of the summer. But speak with an advisor to help you figure this out if you need to discuss what to do. So for now, I'm just going to pick a Session 1 right here. Okay, and remember, if anything says restricted, a lot of times you may see a restricted note like this one. You cannot add that section, but the one up here for Session 1 does not say restricted. Evaluations just means the course you evaluate the instructor at the end, and all prep classes say retention, tracking, and early warning. So that's okay to add. So let's click on the 6-digit reference number to the left. Add it to the cart. Now remember from the other video that the lab is not a class. It's part of the class. You do your lab at your own time. You do your lab hours, whether they're online or in the lab. But this is the class. But we just have to scroll down to the bottom of all the sections here, and you see the 3 labs. We just have to add the lab that matches the session. So in this case, it's Session 1 lab. Okay, we click on it. Session 1, lecture lab. Both say A. Remember, you cannot go away from the screen without clicking Update. Update now. Let's click on it. Okay, so it's successful. Just make sure to schedule an appointment with an academic advisor to have your plan done sometime before the end of your first term. All right. So as I showed you in other videos, you just click here to see your schedule. Print-friendly version is the easiest to look at. In this case, the student owes this amount. The payment due is May 2nd. If it's not paid by then, class will be dropped. Make sure to check with financial aid if you filled out the FAFSA, and you need to check on your aid status. So now that we registered for a summer class, now let's say this student wants to register for fall. So in this case, we would print out the schedule. Okay, we're not going to do that now, but you would print it out. And then you go back to registration, same process, add drop. Okay. Remember, select the right term. So now we're going to select Fall 2013. Select the term. Okay. And for our purposes now, we'll just click North Campus. We'll click Import again. In this case, the other courses didn't import, but the student does want to do ENC 1101 as soon as possible in his or her first or second term. So that's a good one here. And let's say the other one was, let's say computer class. Let's add that. That's a class that many students are advised to take in his or her first term. CGS 10-6. So if you know the code, of course ID, you just type it here. Okay, we click search. All right. And remember, to anything that's restricted, you cannot add this section. Also, honors, you have to be accepted to the honors program before taking an honors class. So read the notes. If you do not want an online class, make sure to stay away from any class that's designated as fully online. Okay. But for purposes now, this one looks okay. Monday morning. 9:30 to 10:45. It's a session 1, which means it's the whole fall term, August 26th through December 17th. Let's click on that reference number. So it adds the computer to the cart. Now we're going to add the English, and we just have to make sure it doesn't conflict with the computer. So we'll scroll down. The course IDs are in alphabetical order. That's why ENC comes before. That's why CGS comes before the ENC 1101. But this one looks okay right here. Let's say Tuesday, Thursday. It's not restricted. Okay. There's a note about the classroom is equipped with computers. Okay. And word processing, students should be familiar with that. But anyway, so let's click on the reference number here, 6 digits. So now the computers is added with an A, in college English is added with an A. We click update. Okay. In this case, for some reason, we're getting a missing transcript hold. This usually happens for transfer students if their transcripts are not in by the second semester. So it could be that since the student registered for summer class, and that's their first semester, and then they have 30 days to get the transcript in, now it's blocking for fall. So if you're a transfer student, this is a good message to come up to remind you that you have 30 days to turn in your official transcripts when you apply to the college. Let's click now that the student has turned in the transcript. So the student got their transcript turned in, and they registered, and it went through. And now, same process. We click View Print Schedule at the end, Print Friendly, and there's their fall schedule. Computers and English. Keep an eye on the payment deadline here, the amount to pay, and here's the payment deadline, August 12th. You have longer to pay if you register early. So that's why there's more of a time period to pay as compared to the summer scenario. And stay tuned for our next tutorial.